Hey everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. You are now tuned in to the podcast, Journey of a Healed Success Stepper. And I'm Dr. Dorina Shine, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. So, I want to tap in to Emotional Healing Solutions, step number 10. I have to learn through for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome and thank you so much for being here. This podcast is about my criminal conviction of 2011. I survived a lacing that was possibly to take me out from my neighbor. And sometimes you just have to realize that when enough is enough and you awaken to some real harsh realities, something that I must consider is when you're right, you're right. When you have done all that you could do, you don't have to worry about being right. You don't have to worry about what others may have to say about your scenario or situation. That's not their burden. And I had to learn that because it was about breaking free from the perfectionism. It was about breaking free from the unneeded obstacles that had me bound, where I believed in my heart that I had to be perfect. I had to strive the next level in order to be achieving. But one thing that I realized about being an achiever, I wouldn't say I was an overachiever. I just chose to always challenge myself. So I wouldn't call myself an overachiever. What I would call myself is a student learner. A life learner. I was always in the student's seat. But moving into experience and learning what took place and how everything went down, I learned to believe in me. And I learned to stand my ground. And no matter what I was going to have to face, no matter what was going to take place, I wasn't going to bow down. I wasn't going to beat myself up. I was not going to make myself look like a villain, sit in a corner, and just be a nobody for the rest of my life. It wasn't happening. I could not see it. And for those of you who find yourself right now going through some struggles, some challenges, some things that make you want to hide in a bush, I'm here to let you know that is your breakthrough. That is the ultimate thing that is going to make you or break you. So why not allow it to be your breakthrough? And so during this time, I'm going to college, in 2012. I'm waiting on bond. I've probably, already considered what the outcome was going to be. But I realized that the prayer to my higher power was not to be taken out of the game for 32 years. I knew I would not want that for my life. But I knew that there was certain things that I had to pay for, like the actions that took place, even though my neighbor did induce the margarita and did induce the marijuana. But with that being said, I was ready to accept my accountability and to come back and to become a better version of who I was before this happened. And that's where Emotional Healing's Solutions Journey, step number 10, came into play. So here we go. Right here, I want you to realize that Emotional Healing Solutions is a program that specifically prepares you for what is to come. Your divine guidance, your success stepping game of life. This is something that is going to let you know that you can stand your ground, stand firm in your emotional healing, and just know you are right when you are correct. When you have done all that you can do, when you have told the truth, when you have tried to administer all the help and assistance that you can provide for yourself, as well as, holding yourself accountable, you find that there are major solutions to the emotional process that was a game anyway, but you didn't know it. And you had to prepare yourself for that opportunity. That opportunity that says, are you going to give up now? Or are you going to take the next step? Provide yourself with a new solution, another solution. So that's what made me get up while waiting on bond and go back to college and finish my graduate's degree. That's what made me continue to get up even though I was facing 32 years and say, well, just for today, I'm free. So right now, I'm going to do all that I can do in order to make myself accountable, because there may be a loophole. There may be a verdict to where they say probation. There were so many hopeful, different opportunities that I put in my mindset. But the last thing that I put in my mindset was the 32 years. So for those of you who are going through major Saturn changes, and I say the changes that are going to make life. And, you figure, when you mature, your life stages, you experience true life lessons, I'd say between every 28 to 30 years. And this was around the time where many of my major lessons were being learned. There were many things that were forcing me to mature. And it was time for me to put the crown on. Regardless whether it was tilted or falling off, I had to pick it up and put it back on. That's what we have to do right about this time. So that's where emotional healing step number 10 came in. Let no one steal your joy, because the rage bait that comes in this world is when you know that you have the authenticity to be exactly who you are, and people challenge you. They try to break you down. They try to defame your character. They try to make you feel as though you're not as professional as you know you are. But you have a responsibility. You have a way of showing yourself to be better. And it's not better than anyone else, but just better than that circumstance that life tried to play a game with you. The enemy tried to emancipate you into something that you know that was not a criteria in which you wanted to present to yourself as yourself. So right now, I'm so grateful that I took the steps to recover. I am so grateful today that I healed. I am so grateful today that I did not make those unnecessary mistakes that would have landed me into something even far worse than a lesson that was being taught. And I want you to think about that as you go through your challenges, as you go through your life changes, as you go through your growing pains. Some people have a way of knowing so much about who they are until they have defeated every demonic attack that showed up. They never got, in a situation. And those are some really, really intellectual people. Those are some very powerful people. And I'm so proud of you that you did not get caught up in the essence of the demonic enemy's attack. Because it's very easy to. Especially when you want to give up on life. It was like God was saying to me when I was saying in my depression state, well, why did I have to lay my mom to rest? Why did I have to lay my grandmother to rest and my stepdad to rest? And, all of this, I was so ungrateful. Throwing away money like it was paper. Only for God to sit me down and say, okay, you have some choices here. If you want to give up, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give up. Because the mindset does what you intend it to do. But if you want that second chance, I got you there too. And I tell you, this life lesson brought me to a reality that took me to my knees. But in that area of defeat, I never crawled to the lowest of the low. I realized at that time I needed to put myself into the position of becoming better, because there was so much more that my life had to offer me. So that is my story of step number 10. And I mean, you can be going through some scenarios that you don't even know how you're going to get out of it. But if you keep showing up for yourself every day, if you keep manifesting good positive energy, if you keep telling yourself you're worth more, you are valued more than just your circumstance, this is going to be a wonderful time. Wonderful time. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. If you have a similar story or you would like to communicate with someone who understands what the struggle is all about, hit me in the DM or send an email to shinedorina@gmail.com. It's in the description box. shinedorina@gmail.com. And we'll share options and solutions so that we can continue to get through this life journey. And you have a wonderful, safe, and blessed rest of your day.